So charisma, a tactical approach. Smile when you're entering the room or when somebody else enters the room. Avoid monotone speech. So if I talked like this the entire presentation, it would be extremely boring and you guys would be nodding off no matter how many cups of coffee you had. Up and down, emphasis, pause, whisper for emphasis. Little tricks like that go a long way. Remember and repeat people's names. Direct conversation towards the person you're conversing with. Avoid closed body language and maintain monetary eye contact. You know who I was that day in Bastrop, Texas, when I was talking to R.C. Buford? I was the guy that was looking over his very tall shoulder for somebody else to talk to because I didn't know who he was. And when I found out he was important, then he got my full attention. Don't do that person. Don't be that person. Be fully engaged in a conversation when you're having it. That person that you're talking to is the most important thing in the world. When you talk to people that have had one-on-one conversations and interactions with Bill Clinton, that is what they say. Arguably one of the most charismatic people, whether you agree with his policies and his politics or not, arguably one of the most charismatic people in the world. I would argue that it wasn't his intelligence, but it was his charisma that got him into the presidency. And you will find that with a lot of politicians, because there's a lot of vapid people out there with not a lot to offer except for a really nice smile and charisma. But people have said over and over again, I've talked to a lot of people that have met him, Obama's the same way. When you're talking to them, you are the only person in the world. And I couldn't believe it because he looked at me in the eyes and he seemed genuinely interested in what I was talking about. Now, if the leader of the free world can do that, we can do that in a dental meeting or at our dental practice. The good news is we have the ability to do this a minimum of 12 times per day. Our restorative schedule, in addition to our hygiene recalls, new patients, we have the ability to fine-tune this skill set to the nth degree. If you're an architect or you're a software engineer, you would have very few opportunities to practice this skill set. You guys have the ability to practice this several times per day, and you're going to have unlimited opportunities to practice this weekend. Closed body language is looking over somebody's shoulders. Closed body language is turning away from somebody as they're talking to you, or crossing your arms. Or if you're sitting down, facing away from them instead of towards them. That's closed body language. Address everyone when entering or exiting a room. This is a big one. And I will say, gentlemen, and this is something that I teach all of my sons, and sometimes I have to slap them on the hand if they don't do it, whether it's a female or a male, if you are seated when somebody walks into the room, never greet somebody or shake their hand sitting down. Always stand up, greet them face to face, shake their hand. Even if you're the only damn one at the table that does it, let it be you. Let it be you. Always greet everybody when you walk into a room. If you're seated, stand up. And when you leave, say goodbye to everybody. I know the Irish goodbye is popular. If it's 200 people and you have to say goodbye to 200 people, at least say goodbye subtly to the people that you've connected with that night.